For 5 years, my own son didn't say a single word to me. Not on my birthday. Not on his. Not even the winter I spent 3 nights in a hospital bed. 5 years of silence from the boy I taught to ride a bike. The boy who used to fall asleep on my chest. And the thing that finally brought him back through my front door? It wasn't a letter. It wasn't the apology I rehearsed 100 times in the dark. It was a voicemail. 38 seconds long. And it didn't come from me. If there's someone in your family you haven't spoken to in far too long, please don't turn this off. Because what those 5 years taught me is the one thing nobody ever bothered to. Not my father, not my church, and not a single day I ever spent in school. I'm going to tell you exactly how a family goes quiet. Not with a bang. That's the lie we tell ourselves. I'll show you how pride quietly steals years you can never buy back. And how a single ordinary Tuesday gave one of them back to me. And I'll tell you what a little girl's voicemail taught me about the difference between being right and being together. Stay with me to the end. Because the last lesson is the one I wish somebody had said to me when I was 40 and still thought I had all the time in the world. It didn't start with a fight. That's what most people get wrong. They picture one terrible argument, one slammed door, one unforgivable word. But big families don't usually break over one loud blow-up. Mine didn't. They break slowly. The way a porch step rots. One quiet season at a time. Until the day it gives out under your weight. My son. I'll call him Daniel. I married a good woman I never took the time to know. At the wedding, in front of her whole family, I made a joke about how he'd finally found someone willing to put up with him. I thought it was harmless. The kind of thing my own father would have said to me. He didn't laugh. And I was too proud to ask why. I told myself he was being too sensitive. He told himself I would never change. And 2 stubborn men decided, without ever saying it out loud, that we could each wait the other one out. A week of not calling became a month. A month became a holiday nobody hosted. The first Thanksgiving, I still set his place at the table. By the second, I had stopped. And somewhere in that gap, the silence stopped feeling like an argument and started feeling like a simple fact of life. Here's the part that should frighten you. I got used to it. A man can get used to almost anything. Even the absence of his own child. I filled the empty space with work, with the television, with the cold comfort of being right. I told everyone who asked that he knew where I lived. That the phone worked both ways. Those are the things a proud man says while he is quietly breaking his own heart. And let me tell you something they don't teach you. Being right is a freezing house to live in. People who study this for a living, real researchers at universities like Cornell, found that more than 1 in 4 American adults is cut off from a family member right now. Tens of millions of us eating dinner inside the very same silence. I wasn't special. I was just one more father who assumed there would always be time. The years moved faster than the silence did. I retired. My wife, Daniel's mother, passed in the spring, and after that, her chair sat emptier than mine. We buried her without saying a word to each other. Think about that. Two men who both loved the same woman, standing on opposite sides of the same grave, close enough to touch, and still too proud to reach across it. Her friends must have wondered what could possibly be worth that much silence. And I started doing the arithmetic an old man does, counting the birthdays I might have left instead of the ones already behind me. The number was smaller than I wanted to admit. And every one of them, I realized, I was planning to spend alone. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, my phone buzzed with a number I didn't recognize. I almost let it ring out. I have thanked God 100 times that I didn't. It was a voicemail. A tiny voice. A little girl. She said, "Hi, Grandpa. It's me. Mommy has your number in her phone. I'm turning 6, and I made you a card. But Daddy said, maybe you're too busy." "Are you busy, Grandpa?" 38 seconds. From a granddaughter I had never once met. A child who had been alive for 5 whole years while I sat in my cold, correct house being right. And I need you to hear this, because it's the heart of the whole story. That voicemail was not from my son. He didn't send it. He didn't even know she had found the number. It came from the one person in that whole family still too young to have learned how to hold a grudge. I sat down on the kitchen floor. A grown man on the linoleum playing 38 seconds over and over. I am not ashamed to tell you I wept. The kind of crying you do when there is no one left to perform for. And every single time I heard, "Are you busy, Grandpa?" I understood just how many years I had answered yes, without ever once saying the word out loud. Now here is where I have to be honest with you, because I do not want you repeating my mistakes. I did not call my son to explain myself. That was my old instinct. To make my case. To be understood. To win the argument at last. 5 years had finally taught me that being understood and being reconciled are not the same thing. So I did 3 things. And if you write down nothing else today, write down these. First, I made the message smaller than my pride. I sent him one line. I got a voicemail from a very brave little girl. I would love to come to her birthday, if there's room for me. 14 words. It took me a full hour to press send. No defense. No history. Just a door left open. Second, I let him set the pace. He didn't answer for 2 days. The old me would have called that rejection and slammed the door shut for good. The new me finally understood something. A person you have hurt gets to decide how quickly they can trust you again. That is not weakness. That is the bill coming due. For every year I had made him wait for an apology, I could surely give him 2 days to answer a text. So I waited. I made coffee. I stared at that silent phone. And I did not send a second message to hurry him. Third, when he finally wrote back, just an address and a time, nothing more. I showed up early. I brought a gift for the child and nothing to prove for myself. And I did the single hardest thing a proud man can do. I listened. When Daniel told me how that joke at his wedding had truly landed on him, I did not correct him. I did not defend the man I used to be. I said 4 words I had not said to him in 40 years. I believe you. I'm sorry. They cost me nothing. And somehow, they cost me everything I had spent 5 years protecting. The people who study reconciliation say the very same thing in fancier language. Lower your defenses, believe their version of the pain, and take one small step without demanding they take one back. I just learned it on a kitchen floor from a 6-year-old. My son and I are not perfect now. 5 years leaves a mark you cannot sand smooth in a single afternoon. But I know my granddaughter's laugh now. I know exactly how she likes her pancakes. Extra syrup, no blueberries. I've sat at 2 of her birthday parties since. And Daniel and we talk on Sundays now. Not about the past, just about the week. I got back something I had quietly decided was gone forever. So let me leave you with what school never taught me, and what my own father never said. Write this down, or say it out loud in the car on the way home. Pride is the most expensive thing you will ever own, and it pays you back in empty chairs. Being right is not the same as being together. And that call you keep meaning to make, the one you'll get to once things settle down, that call has a deadline you cannot see. If a name came into your mind while I was talking, you already know who it is. Don't wait for them to send the voicemail. Don't wait to be the brave little child who didn't know any better. Be the grown-up who knew better and chose love anyway. Do one small thing today. Not a speech. Just a door left open. If this story moved you, tell me in the comments about the person you're thinking of. First names only. And subscribe, because next time I'll tell you about the 31 years I spent chasing a corner office. And the day my daughter simply stopped inviting me. That one cost me even more. Wisdom, my friend. Before it's gone.